here with Dave Callan at the Callan Hotel in Melbourne.
Hi.
So, if someone hasn't seen your show before, what can they expect to see?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I will be doing talking into a microphone with my mouth. And then if it's a festival show, I'll probably do a lot of dancing as well. And then I'll probably do a lot of sweating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty lovely.
It's good because I don't have to, sometimes a dancer has to make themselves moist. Like in Flashdance, the way a lady pulls a bucket and then the water comes down. I don't have to do that. I just shake my head and just pure glistening sweat flicks off my face. In a good way, in a good way.
I don't know whether to be impressed or absolutely disgusted right now.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't sit in the front row?
Probably not. I should get umbrellas for everyone in the front. Yeah. Or like a Bain Marie shield like they have in food places. Just like a clear plastic thing along the front of the stage.
You should get those bubbles.
I should get those bubbles.
Blacken yourself in a bubble.
Yeah, like John Travolta in the 70s.
Anyway, so do you do anything to prepare for a show?
Yes. I get on YouTube and I watch lots of dances, and then I try to do them in my lounge room, and then I go into a dance studio with people who know what they're doing, and they teach me how to do it properly, and then that's how I prepare. Yeah, and then while I'm watching and learning, I just type random thoughts that come to my head. That's how I create a show.
So it's actually scripted, not just you fly off the top of your head?
Probably these festival shows are about maybe 80%, 90% scripted.
Awesome.
And by scripted, I mean choreographed.
Do you get nervous before shows?
No, not really. If it's a show I've done before, and I'm in a comfortable venue that I know well, then I'm fine. But I think if the pressure's on and you're in an unfamiliar environment, or you're on television or something, sometimes you get a little bit affected by that. The fact that you think about the bigger picture.
Yeah. So why comedy? Why did you decide to get into comedy?
Well, I just I found I had random thoughts, and I wanted to know if they were funny to more people than just myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I got up and did 5 minutes at a comedy club, and it went well. And that was 22 years ago. So yeah, I must like it if I've done it for 20. You don't do many things for 22 years that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta commit.
Like eating cake, I've done that for about 37 and a half years. I've done that. Yeah.
And you're looking slim.
This is honestly, this is all in the last 3 weeks. I went to Perth and I did Fringe World there, and it was a 1 hour dancing show with a pole dance at the end, and the show was in 40 degrees. Every night it was 40 degrees in Perth in January, so that's all just happened. That was about here, about a month ago, to have devised a show that kind of saves you doing an hour of cardio and an hour show. You can just condense it all into 1 hour.
Smart.
Make a workout that people can laugh at.
It's very smart. Do you have any comedic influences? Anyone who?
My favourite comedian ever was Harold Lloyd, and also Charlie Chaplin. He was just brilliant. I love physical comedy. I don't know why it's taken so long for me to do it, and I don't know why there isn't more of it, because some of the things they did were side-splittingly funny, and they didn't talk. So to lose one tool out of your tool set and still be so incredibly amusing is brilliant. I saw a Charlie Chaplin sketch the other day where he was sneaking around a circus and he accidentally found himself caught in a lion's enclosure, and the lion was asleep, and he had to try and get out, and he kept locking himself in more and more, and then a dog comes up and barks, and I won't spoil it for you, but he's saying shh to the little Jack Russell, he's going shh, and then it just escalates from there. Just brilliant. So I love that stuff, and that's the oldest stuff that we have on record, really, apart from Shakespeare stuff, and Aristophanes. I got intellectual there for a second. But yeah, I like contemporary people in the 90s I really liked Eddie Izzard, and in the 80s I liked Ben Elton, and in the 70s I liked guy called Billy Connolly. And so they're all really inspirational to me. And, I love YouTube. I love watching cats and dogs. They make me laugh. They're my comedy inspiration.
Are you going to go see Izzard because he's in town
Yeah,
right now?
definitely, yeah, sure. What about you?
I don't have tickets, but I would go.
Well, it just so happens you get a ticket, you get a ticket, you get a ticket.
So what do you think it takes to be a successful comedian?
Bit of intestinal fortitude and money and a good face. It's harder now, like it's harder all the time to get stage time because the guys coming up now, there's so many of them. Like when I started comedy there was only 9 comedians in the world. And now there's like at least twice that. And so the stage time is divided between all the people trying to do comedy. But like my advice would be to do as much as you can, watch as much as you can, try and have as much life experience as you can, go and do different stuff, travel a bit, just draw on personal stories like family life and things that happened as a kid and stuff like that, and never stop kind of having fun with it. And try and combine it with something else, like at the moment I'm combining comedy and dance while learning a martial art, and then in a few years I'm going to combine comedy and martial art because another favourite inspiration of mine is Jackie Chan because he combined comedy and martial arts. Probably the first person to do it on such a scale as he did, but I reckon there's a lot of comedy in that, so I want to take it to that level. So a bit of advice I would give is find something else you love doing and see if that can fuse with comedy in some way. Some people use music, a lot of people would use music. Tripod, we're using video games and music at the moment and fusing that with comedy. So comedy on its own has been, stand-up has been around for many decades now in its current kind of modern form, and I think we might be reaching a post-joke, this sounds so wanky, a post-joke period where people need something else other than just straight stand-up. They need something, another layer just to, stand out and just as an audience to have a more interesting experience.
Have you started with the martial arts, or is that going to come into you straight later?
Yeah, I've done a year of ninjutsu. I thought ninjutsu was the best one because ninjas are kind of funny anyway, So and to have a bunch of ninjas that I can access at any time and bring them into a show, I think is a wonderful thing. So ninjutsu is the one I picked up. I've been doing it for a year. By the time I do the show, I'll have been doing it for 3 years, and I'll hopefully be close, if not already, a black belt, because I want to study it quite intensely for a long time. So I'm going to do a show called A Little More Action, which is all
Do you have any career highlights so far?
Yes. One time I got given a potato.
From a fan, or?
Yes. My mum. I quite like,
That's nice.
I like doing Triple J. I did Triple J for 5 years and that was really good fun. I did Rove Live and that was lovely at the beginning, and we did lots of silly stuff together. And I love doing the Comedy Festival Gala because it helps out Oxfam, and it's very exciting time as the night the Comedy Festival opens and everybody's really excited and it's a lovely theatre, so yeah, I like doing that.
I looked you up at the Melbourne Comedy Gala, and there was you doing Beyonce Single Ladies.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing.
Ooh, cute.
How long did that take to learn?
37 hours.
Really?
Oh, I can't remember exactly how long. It was one of those things where you kind of start, and I didn't have any background in dance or learning anything like that, so it took me a long time, and so many times during the process I have no idea how I was trying to learn off YouTube, and I have no idea how she does this or what she's doing, because it just seemed like sorcery to me. I already gave up a bunch of times, and then I realized the fact that it's hard makes it worthwhile. So if I commit to this and learn it properly, then I think it'll be good.
It looks really good.
Well, thank you.
I like the idea of just Beyonce, going on YouTube and just seeing you and be like, I have to hire that guy because he's just so brilliant. Could be a new career.
I would love to be hired by
ninjas?
Beyonce. I would love to work for either Beyonce or Sia. That's the new one I've learned. I've learned Chandelier and that. Or who's the other person I would love to dance on stage with?
Riri?
Oh, maybe Riri.
Ah, Tay Tay.
I learned the umbrella dance. Definitely Tay Tay.
Oh my
Keith Swizzle, Justin Timberlake, any of those people. I would gladly be in your backing dancer area.
I'm pretty sure you have enough street cred that you could just call up the PR people and be like, hey, can I do a show?
I'm like, hey, I've got 0 dance lessons. And I just taught myself off YouTube. Can I support your international AAA celebrity star on their next world tour?
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
Yeah, sure.
I've got the look.
Yeah, they might pat you down first, just to make sure.
I hope they do.
Oh my god. So you're also on ABC2's Good Game.
Yes.
What is it about video games that you like?
Well, it's just a way to actually get a dividend paid on an awful misspent youth. I think I spent too much time playing video games definitely as a kid, not really as a teenager, and then definitely as a 20-year-old. As soon as the modern generation of consoles came out, I'm talking about the PS2 onwards, and Xbox, I've been completely chronically addicted to video games because of the escapism they offer and the experiences and the storytelling, and the fact that it's such a modern media. You know, games like Resident Evil and all these things I just had to play all the way through, and so I have a kind of an encyclopedic knowledge of video games. And so it was great to be able to fuse that with comedy, because that's another option to combine two things together. And it's great for video game audiences because I think, you know, they haven't had video game comedy before, so I think being a kind of a pioneer on that wave is really fun.
Do you think it's kind of cool that nerds and geeks are kind of taking over the world?
Yeah, it's
going
great.
to.
So good. Oh, yeah, so many nerds in powerful positions at the moment. Guillermo del Toro and, you know, J.J. Abrams has inherited the Star Wars kingdom and the Star Trek kingdom. And, you know, all the conventions are going nuts. And, yeah, it's made a difference in the last 20 years. Like, when I was a teenager going to conventions, they were kind of sad affairs. They weren't really to us, but to other people they were. And now they're kind of glorious, you know, must go to events, and tickets sell out, and hotels charge 5 times as much as they should, and so on. So yeah, it's come a long way. And also the gender balance is really good nowadays. I think in the last 20 years that's shifted to much more of an even kind of number of men and women. Like, you look at Star Trek conventions in the 70s, and it was just dudes, and that was a bit sad. I'm sure they had a great time, but it's just great to have everybody on board and everybody kind of, you know, sharing something.
Yeah, that's some silly questions.
Yes.
What is your go-to dance move?
I would say my go-to dance move is the crab walk.
Demonstrate. Bring it out in the clubs.
Yeah, it's a good move because you know nobody else is going to be doing it. Yeah.
Attention grabbing.
Especially if you actually grab them.
Yeah. Tell you in a story about your life.
Probably Archbishop Desmond Tutu. No, that is who I would want. Yeah, that's who I would
I'm
want.
gonna have to do some serious YouTubing or Googling.
Yeah, Google him. He's a handsome man.
What's the craziest rumor you've heard about yourself?
That I won a Latin American Grammy. That was an actual one.
Really? Did
Yeah.
someone come up to you or?
No, somebody
Later?
posted it on my Wikipedia page. It was awesome. I wish I'd screenshotted it, but that was back in the days before we had screenshots. Screenshots weren't invented back then. You had to actually get an etching of the screen.
Do they have like the disposable cameras? You could have just.
Oh, I could have done that, yeah. Had I been alert? No.
What's your favorite pickup line?
I think my favorite chat line would be, "Hey, I like my coffee like I like my women. Hot and in between my legs while I drive." That's terrible. That is so bad. I wouldn't say that. Just the first one. Same with chat-up lines as I am with heckler response lines. I don't believe in canned responses. I believe in going with the moment, and whatever's happening there and then is always much more valuable than anything you've prepared before.
Do you ever want to do the Seinfeld thing and go to someone's workplace and heckle them?
Yes. Error Dave. I do. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. The hecklers, the only time a heckler really interrupts the show is when they step on a really big tag, like when they call something a that's worse than the punchline over the top of the punchline, and just break your stride. But the microphone helps, and you know, I think the other time is sometimes when they don't know when to shut up, they just keep going. That's disruptive, but otherwise I can handle it. It's fine.
Portray your best sexy selfie face. I have my camera.
You do. Yeah.
Would like to.
Okay, am I taking an actual selfie?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will post it at the end of the interview.
Yeah. See, the thing is, with me, I don't really believe duck face to be sexy. Like, when was the last time you found a duck sexy?
Quack.
So therefore, I think tiger face is better than duck face. What's the
You
press?
press that one and you've got 2 seconds. No, yeah,
I want 2 seconds. I want it immediate. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. That actually didn't end up being as sexy as I wanted
It
it
was
to.
pretty sexy from this angle.
Yes. That's true.
Just do the
Profile is good. That was.
go for a grab. It's like too far away.
Why did you touch my shoulder? That was weird. That was like the most awkward stretch and lean I've ever seen.
I'm totally turned on right now. Let's just go. Okay. So where can people find out more about you and tour dates?
I don't. This is the thing. Like when websites came out, I'm like, oh, they'll blow over, and then I never got bothered getting a website, and they kind of have now. Like it's kind of all about Twitter and Facebook. So I have a Twitter account, Dave Callan /twit, or Dave. Oh, it's Twitter. Oh, whatever. It's Dave Callan Twitter. Anyway, just, if you feel like catching up on random thoughts, and then Facebook, I'm on there, and that's all I care about. Oh, I'm on Instagram, but I don't really put pictures of myself on there. I just put pictures of silly stuff, like somebody who parked a squid one time. It was just like a squid in a car parking space. It was like, oh, let me just park my squid. I find things like that very funny, so I upload funny pictures of dogs and stuff. So I'm on Instagram, is the short version. And I don't have a website, so if you see a website, oh, I'm not on Tinder, but there's a guy who says he's me on Tinder. I don't know who the fuck he is, or how many responses he gets, but I'm not on Tinder, so it's one thing I'm not on. It'd be quicker to list the things I wasn't on. No, it wouldn't. Okay.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. I think that's your quirkiest habit right there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.